All right, guys, we are back with a PvP DragonKnight Bomber build for you today.
Wait a minute, hold on. Hasn't someone already made this build?
Yes, Joe, this is not a new build, but it goes hard, so we are doing the video anyway with our twist on it.
Joe, go back to sleep and let him get into the build. I want to see what he's cooking.
All right, anyways, like I was saying, we got a DragonKnight Bomber build for you today. We are going to go over everything you need to know. Let's get into it. The Master's two-handed sword is going to be the bread and butter of this build. This increases the direct damage of cleave by 1550 for each enemy hit with no cap on it. So the more people you hit, the higher it will scale. I like a weapon damage glyph on this, but feel free to use whatever you like. Next, we have an ice staff of dark convergence. You can use sword and board if you want, but I like the ice staff. On the back bar, you can use any glyph you want. Personally, I find the escapist poisons to be the best option.
Oh, I heard those escapist poisons were really good. I wish I knew how to make them.
Joe, to make the escapist poisons, all you need is your poison solvent, mountain flower, Namira's rot, and columbine. Write it down so you don't forget again.
I am using one-piece balorg for more damage, but you can use a recovery one-piece if you want to help your sustain. Our other five-piece set is going to be Plague Break. We are running 6 medium and 1 light with all divines to crank the damage. Feel free to use impenetrable if you want.
Why are you using so much medium? You are going to have no penetration to kill tanky players.
Joe, I am getting there. Just shut up and let me do the build, please.
Joe, we know you only play the 1-bar mag sword, but not every build works the same. Stop saying dumb shit, please.
All right, for our Mythic, we are using Sea Serpent's coil. This Mythic is going to give us 40% damage reduction when we are at full health. And once we take damage, it is going to give us major berserk and major courage, buffing our damage done by 10% and our weapon damage by 430. You can use the Markin Ring of Majesty or Death Dealers Fete if you don't like the snare from Sea Serpents. Our Jewlery is all infused with weapon damage glyphs on all 3 of them. All right, let's get into the skills now. Our first skill on the front bar is going to be Rally. This is going to be our weapon and spell damage buff and an extra heal when you need it. Next, we have Brawler. This is our spammable and our main source of bursting down groups.
Using Brawler with the Master 2H be slapping.
Next up is Camouflaged Hunter. This grants major savagery and prophecy, increasing our critical chance. Then we have Turn Evil for passive weapon damage and Deep Breath for the AoE damage. Our ultimate on the front bar is Dawnbreaker for more passive weapon damage. Okay, now let's look at the back bar. Our first skill is going to be Volatile Armor. This is how we get our major resolve. Next is Coagulating Blood and Resolving Vigor. And these skills are our main source of healing, along with Deep Breath. Next is Race Against Time. This skill gives an on-demand snare removal, major expedition, minor force, and a shield when we block on our back bar. Okay, so Eruption's going to be the ability we use to proc our dark convergence. It's also a 70% snare, so when they pull in, they are slower than Joe. Okay, so our ultimate on our back bar and the main ultimate we will be using is Corrosive Armor. This makes it so we completely ignore all of our enemies' physical and spell resistances.
See, Joe, this is why he is running all medium on the build.
That's bullshit. Why doesn't my Sork have that ultimate?
Joe, you and your Sork are trash. Let's continue, please. Our race on this build is going to be Imperial with 33 points in health and 31 into stamina. Our food of choice is smoked bear haunch. Our Mundus Stone is going to be the Warrior. And of course, you got to rock Vampire Stage 3.
What glyphs are you using on your armor to get those kind of stats, Trump?
Oh, thanks, Barack. I almost forgot about the armor glyphs. We are using 7 tri-stat glyphs on our armor to optimize our health, magic, and stamina.
You're using 7 tri-glyphs? I can't afford those guys.
Joe, for fuck's sake, just use whatever you got. Some magic and some stamina. I'm trying to move on to the champion points now.
Joe, let him do the champion points. He's almost done, then you can go back to sleep.
Okay, so in the blue tree, we are running Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Wrathful Strikes, and Occult Overload for the extra pop.
Occult Overload is a must for any bomber build.
In the red tree, we are running Celerity for the movement speed, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering, and Boundless Vitality. For more health, you can swap Boundless Vitality for something else. It's not necessary.
You can't go wrong with more max health nowadays.
That's pretty much it for the DK Bomber build. If there's anything that I forgot, I will make sure to post it in the description below.
So are we going to get to see some gameplay of this build or what?
Yeah, for once, I'm going to agree with Joe. I need to see this shit live before I bust out the gold mats.
All right. I'll finish the video off with some gameplay and some trash non-copyright music. Like and subscribe. God bless America.